Who is Aunt Han? Although she first appears as a humble shopkeeper at the start of our journey in Where Winds Meet, it quickly becomes clear that she's hiding major secrets. Ones that could place not only herself, but everyone around her in grave danger. After finishing Chapter 1 and witnessing the destruction of Blissful Retreat, many players start wondering where Aunt Han went. Did she simply abandon everyone? Is she secretly working with the Aureate Pavilion? Why didn't she protect the residents of Blissful Retreat? To answer these questions, we first need to look into Aunt Han's past. While the protagonist only knew her as a strict, nagging parental figure, Han Xiangshen was once a renowned figure in the Jianghu, known by her alias Water Lady. You may have already encountered this name when attempting to change your character's appearance, since doing so requires the Water Lady's scroll, an item that exists for lore reasons, not just gameplay convenience. Water Lady was celebrated for her extraordinary ability to alter a person's appearance, or more precisely, to give them an entirely new face. This talent went far beyond cosmetic reconstruction. Before her retirement from the Jianghu, Aunt Han worked with the Palace of Annals, helping them transform the faces of spies preparing to infiltrate the northern regions and the Khitan. These spies undertook a perilous mission, surrendering both their faces and their identities for the sake of their homeland. However, not all attempts were successful. Those who failed the procedure became the tragic figures hidden beneath Blissful Retreat. They were never allowed to return above ground. Their very existence risked revealing the covert network they once served. And so they remained below, forgotten by the world, waiting in darkness for the distant hope that the Yanyun region might one day be reclaimed by the Han people. Aunt Han eventually severed her ties with the Palace of Annals after a pivotal incident more than a decade prior. She had harbored romantic feelings for Chu Qingquan and strongly opposed the plan for him to undergo the transformation and become one of the faceless agents sent north. Although Chu Qingquan disliked deceiving Han Xiangshen, he ultimately chose to cooperate with Tianying in stealing the Water Lady's scroll to use it for their own objectives. To accomplish this, the two conspired with the Palace of Annals to host a banquet in Han Xiangshen's honor, a distraction meant to give Tianying the opportunity to steal the scroll. Han Xiangshen saw through the ruse and flew into a rage. While Tianying escaped with the Water Lady's scroll, Chu Qingquan stayed behind to hold her off. Their clash brought them to the summit of Moonveil Peak, where their battle shattered the Peace Bell Tower.
老人家，您哼的这曲听着不错，就是词儿听不大懂，是讲什么的？
啊？你说什么？大点声！哦，我唱的是这太平钟楼。
这钟楼有什么故事吗？
这楼名为太平钟楼，乃是世宗所立，为祈太平。立黄钟于上，鸣太平之音，以求山河永固。可惜如今楼塌钟毁，已无钟鸣喽。
为何会这样
？3年前，有2个江湖高手在钟楼大打出手。钟声响了一夜，待到大战结束，黄钟碎了，钟楼变成了如今这副模样。那，就连我这耳朵，也被那晚响彻清河的钟声给震聋了。
唉，这就叫神仙打架，凡人遭殃。钟楼被毁之后，便无人来修缮吗？
本应来修缮钟楼的春秋别馆无故闭馆，黄钟碎片也四散不明。日子一久，此地也就被人遗忘了。
那您可知当年大战的究竟是哪2位神仙？他们又为何会选在太平钟楼交战？
哎呦，刀剑无眼，我岂敢上前一探究竟？不过，钟楼里处处都是2人交战留下的痕迹。你要是有兴趣，大可进钟楼看看。 许能获知当年那场大战的真相。倒是许久没见人来这儿了。
After this incident, Han Xiangshen severed all ties with the Jianghu and chose to retire. It was during this period that she met Jiang Yan for the first time. Seeing him carry the protagonist, then just an infant, Han Xiangshen was startled and demanded to know why he was risking a child's life. When Jiang Yan explained that the baby was adopted and that he refused to abandon them, Han Xiangshen felt sympathy. Realizing that Jiang Yan had absolutely no idea how to care for a child, she decided to become another parental figure in the protagonist's life. Despite of them agreeing to raise the child together, they never developed a romantic relationship. Han Xiangshen remained in love with Chu Qingquan. Even after his betrayal, she continued to worry for him. This is evident from the jars of parting tears she kept aside for his return. Of course, he never came back. Chu Qingquan died in the north during his mission. Though she outwardly maintained her anger, his death devastated her so much that she poured out all the parting tears she had saved for him. Unfortunately, Aunt Han had little time to mourn. She knew the Aureate Pavilion was preparing to attack Blissful Retreat, and the reason was painfully simple. She still held the list of faceless agents. Her past actions, including stealing and recording the martial techniques of various sects, had also earned her powerful enemies. Han Xiangshen understood that everyone needed to leave Blissful Retreat if they hoped to stay safe. The protagonist, of course, disagreed. They wanted to go to the Jianghu to search for Uncle Jiang, but Han Xiangshen despised the Jianghu, filled only with regret for ever entering it. She had always tried to dissuade the protagonist from practicing martial arts. When Jiang Yan left, the young protagonist had attempted to follow him, but Han Xiangshen intercepted them before they could board his ship. Even when the protagonist turned 16, Han Xiangshen remained fiercely overprotective. Sadly, the place she had tried so hard to shield would soon burn, as the Aureate Pavilion launched its attack on Blissful Retreat. It remains unclear what Han Xiangshen was doing during the attack. Perhaps she was intercepted by another group, or there were other circumstances we have yet to learn. Regardless, she was the one who saved the protagonist when they were caught in the underground explosion. Afterward, Han Xiangshen left Blissful Retreat and distanced herself from the child she had raised. Perhaps she believed that her presence would only bring further danger to them. For now, we know very little about her plans. According to information from Chinese players, she apparently appears in Mohist Hill, the game's third major region, and also seems to have ties to the head of the Velvet Shade sect. Another intriguing detail is her encounter with the Sleeping Taoist. When he saw her, he told her she carried the fate of a doomed loner, someone destined to die without parents, lovers, or children. But he added that this fate wasn't truly hers. She was merely caught up in someone else's destiny, a man's destiny. Han Xiangshen initially assumed he meant her father, who had sold both her and her mother. But the Sleeping Taoist clarified that while her father did bear that fate, there was another man in her life who shared it. That doomed destiny also belonged to Chu Qingquan, who met a tragic end in the north. And that's it for the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like or subscribe, especially if you want more Where Winds Meet lore explainers. If you spot any mistakes, feel free to comment. I'll pin the corrections in the comment section. Thanks again for watching, and have an awesome day.